In my last video, I showed you how to add a summary column to a data frame that shows percentages by row or by group, but that was using a single level of grouping. And by that I mean it's grouping by a single variable or column. But what if we had multiple columns we wanted to group on? For instance, using this same example, what if we also had the month of these product sales and we wanted to group by the product and the month the sale was made? Well, we can adjust our example pretty easily to add that. Let's create a vector using the same method, and we'll just use the first 3 months. So let's just say January, February, and March. It needs to be the same length, 50. Replace needs to be true again. All right, and then let's make this the first column equals month in our data frame. Let's make it look a little nicer. So now if we look at our data frame, we see we have the month of the sale in the first column, the product, and then the total number of sales in the last column. And we want to group by month and product. So we can do that pretty easily just by adjusting what we already have written here. We just add month. Now, when we pass our data frame into group by, it's going to group by month and product. And then the next line here, summarize, it's going to show us the total number of sales of that product in that month. But this is where it gets a little tricky. If we are then going to pass the mutate function and create this percentage column, we're still grouped by product and month. So first, let's just take a look what that gives us. So there, I just ran these first 3 lines up to summarize, and we can see it gives us the total sales of the product in the month. So our grouping variables only have a single row. So if we were then to pass this mutate function, it's taking the total, which for product A sales in the month of February, for instance, that would be 91, divided by the sum of all the sales in that grouping. Well, that is all the sales in that grouping. So in this case, it would be 91 divided by 91, right? So we should be getting 100% or 1.0 as the result. But let's take a look. And it's actually not what we're seeing. So I didn't realize this until I was creating this example, but there is an experimental feature of the summarize function that you can see here. And the way that it acts is if this .groups argument in summarize is not specified, and if all the groupings have just a single row, it will drop the last group. So what this is doing in effect is this. So let's code this out literally. It's ungrouping, so it's dropping all of the groups and then group by month. So we only have the month grouping here. And if we do that, we get the same result. Pretty neat.